Hey guys, today I'd like to talk to you about time blindness and respond to a young person's TikTok about time blindness and work, because it kind of distressed me that nobody has taught her how to cope with time blindness, but people were stitching her TikTok and then just like kind of riding her about it a bit. So, like, neurodiverse people tend to have something called time blindness. And time blindness in neurodiverse people is the inability to be able to predict how long something is going to take, or a set of tasks, a task or set of tasks are going to take. So, for instance, getting up, brushing your teeth, washing your face, having a shower, that sort of thing. But it's not just one task, it's any task. Any task that you know will impact your daily life. So, for instance, I drive my husband absolutely mad because towards the end of the day, when I'm working on something, he will ask, how long is that going to take? Because I'd like to start cooking dinner now. And I will go, I have no idea. And he said, well, because he knows I would like to finish before I eat. And he wants to then cook because he's hungry, and I will go, I don't know. It's a constant source of tension in our family, even though maybe that task that I'm doing, I've done repeatedly. It's like the timer in my head doesn't work, and I have no idea how long that's going to take. So he would say, like, is it going to take you 5 minutes? Is it going to take you 10 minutes? Is it going to take you 20, half an hour? I don't mind. I just want to know. And I have absolutely no idea. Constant source of tension in our house, and bless him, he just loses the plot. So he ends up starting cooking, and then I get frustrated because I haven't finished. But going back to this TikTok, poor young lady, it was all phrased as a Gen Z versus Gen X thing, because she said, you know, I've got time blindness, am I going to get an accommodation at work? And the Gen Xers were like, no. And I have to say, you know, probably not. But then the other side of that is nobody's ever taught her like mechanisms of how to cope. So I kind of thought I'd jump on and say, you know, I've got time blindness, I'm neurodiverse, and this is how I cope, because I'm really time blind. So most of us have got one of these things, whatever model. You get into your phone and you pull up your calendar. And another thing that neurodiverse people generally have is a really, really poor working memory. Mine is terrible. When I got tested for dyslexia, for instance, my working memory holds 4 slots open in its working memory. There's a study called Magic Number 7 plus and minus 2, which is the amount of slots that things you can hold in your working memory before you kind of bump things out. So you can, in your working memory, you can hold like X amount of things, magic number 7 plus or minus 2. Now, in my case, my working memory is so poor, I can hold 3 with an iffy 4th. And there are ways that, in my case, it was an educational psychologist tested that for my dyslexia. So I know my working memory is very, very poor. My long-term memory is amazing. I've got 2 master's degrees. It works really well, but my working memory is terrible. So I know this, I will rely on my phone. If you tell me something and I do not write it down or put it in my phone, it is gone. I am like the proverbial goldfish. So if you're neurodiverse and you know your working memory is really poor and you are time blind, don't think I'll remember that later, because you won't. You've got to write it down or put it in your phone. And let's face it, people, if you write it down, where's that piece of paper? Put it in your phone. Because let's face it, we're glued to these things. So open up your app, your calendar app, whatever phone you've got. Get a new event as soon. Do not rely on walking away, because once it's gone, it's out of our heads because we've changed position. That out of sight, out of mind thing really does apply to us. Put the new event in, put the time in, put an alert in. If you have 2 alerts, this is absolutely brilliant, because you can put one for the day ahead, but there's an absolute must. From the time you need to leave, always give yourself, if it's close, give yourself half an hour to get there. If it's a little bit further away, give yourself an hour to get there. I mean, obviously, if you've got to go a really long distance, give yourself that kind of time to go there. But from the time you need to leave, 2-hour timer. Put that in. So your alert is a 2-hour timer from before you need to leave. Crucial. Switch. Put that as a reminder into your phone. This is how you cope. This has saved me so many times, and I was never late for work. I was always early. Switch apps. Go into the day, your alert goes off. You go, bother. There are many other words I use, but I'm trying to keep this PG. So you go, bother. I have to go to the doctors, go to work for my shift. I've got to go to that family event that I don't really want to, but here we go. Go to your alarms app, go to your clocks app, and you'll notice mine has got like just tons and tons of them. Start setting your alarms. So for the first hour in your 2 hours before you have to leave, you do your alarms for every half an hour. As soon as you go into your second hour, they're every quarter of an hour, so every 15 minutes, until you actually have to walk out that house if you're giving yourself either half an hour, if it's like only a 10-minute journey, half an hour, or if it's a little bit further, an hour to get there. Okay? And that's how you do it. It's really, really simple. You use your phone, because believe me, you need that as your alarm goes off, you start your timers off, you start sliding them across, and you go, okay, and you start getting distracted. My little neurodiverse brain goes, oh, look, what's in the cupboard? I start getting distracted. My timer goes off. Oh yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go to what such and such event, and I go back to getting ready, and my little brain gets distracted, and I wander off like the little goldfish I am. And what's in the cupboard, or what am I doing? Or I start reading something, or a message comes in on my phone and I start reading that, and oh, what's on Facebook, or what's on Threads, and I start doing that, and then like the 15 alarms start going off. It's like, oh, I've got to finish getting ready. And that's how I'm not late for something. I am time blind AF, but I'm not late. And those have saved me so many times. It is untrue. It's easily done, nice and simple. Just trust your phone. But there are key tricks to it. You put it in before you walk away. So you're at this reception, the doctors give you the thing. You do not walk away from the desk. You just go to one side, you put it in straight away. They give you a shift at work. You go to the side, you put it in straight away. You make sure that 2-hour window is in your phone, so you are leaving straight away. And you know what? I've forgotten events, and I've been like at the gym, and this doctor's appointment has turned up, and I have bolted out the gym and gone, oh my goodness, and started getting myself ready for like a blood test or something. So yeah, I forget. I make mistakes too, even though I've got this system. But it saves me as well. I don't miss a doctor's appointment. I don't miss these things anymore because I have the system. So it's super important you do this. And that's how you get over time blindness. And it works. So I hope that I doubt she'll ever see it, but if you're young and nobody's ever taught you how to get over time blindness, that's how it is. It's a simple system, and it just requires your phone, which you probably have already. See you on the next one.